I had tried to kill myself in my own boxers, right? Pollock naked in the cell, tried to choke myself out with the boxers.
No.
My head was just completely blown, like, like you just think.
Do you remember that then? Do you remember it? Like,
I remember it. I remember because he was laughing at me. PC Sands, like, fuck this, I'm done. Like, I just don't want to be here. Like, fucking pull my boxers off, tie them around my neck, fucking like that. And they must have heard me fucking choking or whatever. They come and stripped me thing, put me in a suicide vest again. And I was in a glass cell then because I was on like on suicide watch. And I had on the door, I had an M, right? I woke up in the morning, I thought, M. Fuck, I would murder someone, have I?
Some man, they wanna chat shit till I knock 'em, ain't like I'm Jack Shaw.
Level to the game.
Rolls hot, rolls back, my flow shot like a hacksaw. Getting off.
Right, we're back. First guest of the year.
First guest
of the year. We're joined today by Jordan Paul. If you don't know Jordan, he is the founder of You're Never Alone men's mental health charity. Let's get straight into it, Jordan. Let's just talk about how, because obviously I've known you a long time, and obviously this ain't something you've always done. This is quite a new venture for you. What, about a year now, 12, 18 months you've been doing it?
Yeah, 16 months now.
16 months, and I think I'm right in saying they come off the back of a couple of local boys, obviously, who'd been struggling mentally, ended up committing suicide or ended up, in a bad place. So how did it come about? How did it pop into your head that, all right, fuck it, I'm just going to go and set up a group?
Well, obviously, like, mental health has always been like something always in the back of my mind. I seen obviously like growing up where I was, seeing like a lot of people struggling. So it was always kind of there, even from a young age. Like some people don't really witness that or whatever, but it's always been there. Like obviously like my dad struggled. So I've always been there, and I always done something for like mental health. So I done that penny van challenge for like mind. So it's always been something, but obviously I didn't know, like I couldn't do anything because I didn't have no clue really. But yeah, it was a couple of boys locally, a couple of boys from Abergavenny, like took their own life, left behind kids. And obviously I was a new parent at the time. My daughter was only a couple of months old. And then one of the boys I was in school with, he took his own life. I wasn't really close to him. Did obviously like think, fucking hell, like this can't keep on happening kind of thing. But then you just don't know what, like where to go with it. I got no qualifications, like still got no qualifications, but like, and then when Di done it, then leading up to it, we tried to get him to engage in things. And he didn't really want to talk to me, and he was just really like closed. And then looking at him, I was like, I was exactly like that, years and years before. And then we seen him over in Witherspoon's, and I think it was on the Friday before he done it. And I said, Josh, you need to keep an eye on him. But I said, I can just tell by looking at him and talking to him that something is going to happen very soon. Like, Josh, like I've tried. It was the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Then I was in working up in Rasa, funny enough. I had the phone call. He took his own life, like, left behind his 5-year-old kid.
Fucking hell.
And, like, being that parent, like, I was only a parent, I think she was, like, 8 months old or whatever. It just hit me, just straight away, I looked at Josh, both started crying in the car. I was just like, fuck me, but this can't keep on happening, but we need to do something, like. So my brother said, do you want to go home? She told my brother. He's like, do you want to go home? I was like, no, I think that's the worst thing for it. I don't want to be sat in the house thinking about it, overthinking things. Carried on working. Went to the toilet and just something popped up. I just thought, let's just create a space for men to just pop in. And that's what it started as, pop into that room, have a chat, get stuff off your mind, just so it ain't like weighing you down, and just unpack your stuff, like. So I text my partner at the time, need to set something up. I'll have a little look later. And he's up on the roof then. I thought, I'll have a look for a local room to rent or somewhere we could just have a little chat. First thing that popped up was the Tabo Centre in Bromhouse. So I give him a ring. Sarah answered, told her everything. And she was like, really, I want to help you. Set up this room. And I just don't know, something in me was just driving me, like just, because it was there nice and fresh, not nice and fresh, but a bit fresh in my mind. And I thought, it's not many things I ever give 100%. I thought I am just going to fully just go into it and see where to go. You need to help people. So Josh was on the roof end. I was trying to think of names. I was coming up with some proper names, like just absolute garbage. Like. And all of a sudden, then he said, what about You're Never Alone? And I just hit me. I was like, that's a cracker. I'm more like you have to pay him off in a couple of years. Like, because he keeps on about it. Like, but yeah, it just stuck. And then I put a Facebook post out, looking to set up a men's mental health group, looking at meeting, having a chat or whatever. local boy and Luke Phillips and graphic designer. He's like, do you want me to design a logo? And like in the space of 2 days, he designed this logo, sent me over a couple of copies, which one do you want, picked it, went with it. I had this room out, and just went with it. Set up social medias, and it just literally, you check my phone, so within like a couple of, I think it was like a week, you know, we had like 1,000 followers, and I thought, this is needed. You know, people were saying to me, this is needed or whatever. So went with that, set up the meeting. I think it was like for like 2 weeks after. That's the only availability they had, like. And then we had a bit of a drink for Di then. And at the meantime, I was thinking, you know what, let's go and walk a Sugarloaf. Let's get people out walking. Like, you know me, I love a little walk. You know, I am the epitome of, you know, from taking pills to big grills. that is me, like, all over. So I thought, let's get up a mountain. You know what it's like, and we was out having a drink. You know, I must have about 40 people. I'll be there on our walk, but I'll be there. So like I said, we went with it. And I was like thinking, yeah, there's going to be loads of up this mountain now. And so I think the walk was the first thing we done. So I went up there, like, I know, up into the car park, and fucking Kyle Prosser turned up, right? I hadn't seen him for years. So up there, like, no, it was just me and him. I was just like, he said, do you think any more shot? I said, fuck yeah, but it's about 20, 30 people coming now. And he's like, he said, what time did you say you said? Oh, I saw 9 o'clock. And he looked like that. He said, it's fucking 9:10. I said, oh, honestly, though, but I said, they coming back. Like, yeah, we set off, but like I said, it kind of just snowballed from there. Like, the group meetings are great, but like I said, I got no qualifications, I got no previous experience in doing anything like this at all, and kind of just learning on the job and just seeing what works and what doesn't work. Like, group meetings are great. Just meeting up for a chat or whatever, and they're great, but I think like the beauty of it is the like getting out, doing like a physical exercise while talking. Cause
that's what I was going to say. You're a big advocate, and you like a lot of dealing with mental health, like you say, is put it on the table and talk about it. But also, we've had Matthew on, Matthew Creel from Tidy, and he's very much like you in the sense of you've got to like physically do something about it as well. You know, like the first thing he says to me is like if someone says, "Oh look, I'm struggling," he's like, "Well, what's your diet like? Are you doing any physical activity? You know, who are you socialising with?" And I know I see it like every Sunday morning, and constantly you got 10, 20 boys out walking, cold dipping, like you said, doing penny van, doing the Sugarloaf. When did that fit? Was that straight away where you wanted to encourage them? Right, let's not just meet up and have a chat, but let's get out and get active as well, because I think that's a big part of it. I think
it's a massive part, and like it's something that obviously I trained on and off for years down the gym. Whether it was jiu-jitsu, whatever it was, training in the gym, weightlifting, whatever, I've always kind of done something. And then I was like looking back at myself thinking, like, when you felt your best, what was you doing? And it was always when I throw myself into something, always doing like a physical activity. Whenever I was at my lowest, it was always when I was in the house, shut myself down, and just not doing anything about it. So it was like, I went for the walk, the first one, went for another one, and I started picking up a bit. And I can remember that a load of boys from Evervale come over because one of their friends sadly took his own life. And it was like the messages afterwards that it was like in my head, he was like, honest to God, but never done anything like that before. Unbelievable what you actually talk about. So I was like, it was just clicking in my mind and thinking, right, this is the route we want to go down. And like I said, it's all well and good like talking about your problems and talking about your issues, but you also got to take action on it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's don't get me wrong, you know, you talk about it, like if I talk to you about something or talk to you about something, great. Weight lifted off, but it's not really solving the problem or getting to the root of the problem.
You've got to put it into practice.
You've got to put it into practice. You know, physical activity scientifically shows, but it works wonders, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Physical health and mental health all tie in well. So, you know.
It's absolutely... Sorry, Joe, go on.
I was just going to say, I come on one of the walks with you, didn't I, to take a video for you. And it was, what I find interesting was because you knew you were all there in like a mental health group, the topic was already on the table for everyone to talk about. Yeah. So there was no like, you know, I need to get to know you. We're going to take half hour to get to know each other, and then we're going to talk about it. Everyone was talking about their problems openly to people they don't even know. And I thought that was great because sometimes it's easier getting like advice off someone you don't know than someone you don't want to listen to people you know, do you, telling you stuff. So you know, like
you almost feel embarrassed sometimes, don't you? Yeah. Someone, you know, it's when you speak to people. That's why so many people, you know, not enjoy it, but get benefit out of like counselling and therapy because the person they're speaking to, they don't know, and they just like it's
like
not just
it's the judgment side, isn't it? It's like I can remember like when I went through like my darkest time, like 2016, I had to go and see the counsellor after what I'd done, like whatever. It was too late by then. But like obviously with my previous partner, I wouldn't even tell her, like, you know, I wouldn't even really tell anyone. Bottling it up. And then when I'd done that thing, and then the next day I woke up, I was like, you know, you need to do something about this, but, you know, you need to sort your problems out, like, you know, because like, what I done, I throw myself into work, and I just work, just trying to blank it out a little bit, wouldn't talk to anyone. And then when I went to the counsellor, she was only in Pontypool, went over there first session, I thought, you know, and she broke me down, like, you know, she broke me down through everything, like childhood, whatever, broke me right down to the, you know, until there was nothing left of me. 3-4 sessions in, and I think to myself, I told this woman my life story that I don't even tell anyone else. Like, maybe, I don't know, 5 people I can count on my hand that I've told my story to. And I've just told her everything. I don't know her. Like, and that's what something that, like I said, I can take forward and like put into this group. And that's something I say, like, boys, you know, if you don't want to talk to us about it, like, because we've all become familiar with each other. I wouldn't say we're we're not best friends. But if you don't want to talk to us about it, like, go and see a counsellor, because it's the best thing I ever done.
Yeah.
And like I say, when he was on the walks, like, I'm on him now, and like, I know you should ask your name like straight off, but like sometimes you delve straight into that conversation, and is that like intense or like that, like, and you're like, yeah, I know, I done the same, yeah, whatever. Like, you don't even ask your name.
No. People are full to the brim waiting to tell, because they're going there for that reason, aren't they?
Exactly.
Whether they know it or not, they may think I'm going there to help other people. But when they get there, if they got issues, they just want to get them out, don't they? I could see that on the walk, and I could see people's like relief as they're telling them to walk in and talking. It's awesome.
Brilliant. And you know, it does always happen when you got someone to talk to, and sometimes you've got to have it almost pulled out of you. I mean, like, I wouldn't say I've struggled as such a mental health, but when I had the operation on my hand back in the summer, obviously, like, just had a newborn baby, so you think, well, it should be the best time of your life, and it was. But there were days where, you know, I used to train in 3-4 times a day, and I can't even train once a day because I'm in a cast. My hand's fucking killing me, and I remember for a couple of weeks I was a bit in my own head, and probably without even realising. I remember one day my missus kind of sat me down and was like, what's the fucking matter with you? Yeah. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, what's the matter? Like, I'm being yourself. Yeah. And then when you get out on the table, and that's where I ended up putting it down to. It was like, I've gone from fucking battling that I should be on top of the world to, you've took my fucking hand away. I can't, you know what I mean? And then when you put it out on the table, that's what I think when it clicks, you're right, fucking do something about this. Yeah. And then you start your training and you're walking, and like I always say this to people as well, especially with exercise, it ain't even got to be a run, it can be a walk, whatever, but don't matter how much you don't want to go, when you eventually go and get it done, when you get in that car or in that shower afterwards, like every single day, there's fucking probably 4 out of 7 days a week where I don't want to go to the gym, I feel too tired. Then when I get in that shower afterwards, I think, I'm on top of the world. I think, fucking hell, that was brilliant. I'm glad I done that. So I don't think people ever regret it. So I think the fact that, like you say, know that you're so open, like this is what we're doing, we're meeting up, you post saying, this is the route, we're going to walk this, and we're going to walk and talk. So not only, like you said, people are turning up thinking, right, I can get this off my chest, but then also, they're having that dopamine hit afterwards that, well, fucking, I've just walked 5 miles, 6 miles. 5 miles,
like, I'm done for the day. Like, you know, if somebody's on like a step counter, that's what a lot of boys are doing now, like, you know. So like, a couple of boys go to the gym, they go like coaches or whatever, they on like 15,000 steps a day, they come to the walk, they've already boxed their steps off. So like for them, that's like a thing they've ticked off their box. They've ticked off, so they're like, I've done that, like say by like 10, 11 o'clock, I've done that. You know, go the rest of the day in with their kids or whatever. So it's another thing that is just like ticking that box. And like it says, set yourself a goal and just ticking them off. And I think that's a massive thing, like you said, when he was injured, you wouldn't tick in your boxes.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because he was in the house, and he says it's so easy to get in your head when you're not doing it. And that's like we want to try and encourage, and always try and encourage people like get out of their comfort zones. A couple of boys like, I don't think I can do that out there. I'm like, come on, give it a try.
Try it, innit?
We'll try it. We'll help you. I'll drop back, you know, and if it takes many stops as you need to.
Yeah.
So when you get to the top, you know, it's the best feeling in the world.
You've done it then.
You've done it, like, yes.
Yeah. We have to touch on as well, obviously you got your hashtag, haven't you? Beat the morning, win the day. and let's be honest, it did start off as a bit of a joke and a bit of a piss take, but it's actually become a thing now, hasn't it? Like I see a lot of the boys who don't even really know you using the hashtag beat the morning. So where did that, I know it started as a thing, but like that's a big one as well, isn't it? Like
it really is.
And as much as we take the piss and have a laugh at it, it's very much fucking true. Like
you said, you take that off in the morning.
Yeah. If I don't go training in the morning, it ruin the rest. I mean, I've had days where you're being a lazy fucker and you think, I'm not going this morning. You find an excuse, don't you? And it'll haunt me then to the point where I'm down in the gym at 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock because I think, I fucked up. I should have gone this morning.
Sets a tone,
yeah, it's very true. Like you hear people like Joe Rogan talk about it. Like beat in the morning can be as simple as getting out of bed and making your bed before you go to work, like that.
Yeah.
Like, so where did that come from for you?
It was obviously, we started obviously with the new gym, and I started doing the morning class, wasn't I? Don't get me wrong, I am always fucking late, right? So I'd half beat it. Oh, but like when I put a picture up, I think I done it, like win the morning, win the day. But it was just like a mental thing for me, because I am always late or whatever. And I think I just had my daughter. So like sleep was obviously as a thing. I just popped in my head. I wrote her on one of the posts, and and all of a sudden I started writing all the time. Then your old man started taking the piss out of me, right? And all the boys started taking the piss out of me, right? And he was just like, started doing it. I think almost sure it was Des. Des started hashtagging it then, right? Then like my brother would write to me, beat the morning, win the day.
Then I see Di Richards when he dial train in the morning and he hashtagging it.
And it just started snowballing. Like, I think there's boys down Newbridge, like rugby boys who like, Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. He said, look at the boys posting this, beat the morning, win the day. Right? I was like, kind of like taking the piss out of myself, like, because like I'm always late, but like I say, I think ticking that box off in the morning, like if you don't, like for me, it was like if I didn't go training, if I miss that 6 o'clock class and I haven't gone, I know I can't make it in the night. I'm like, fucking hell, I fucked up now. I'm a day down. And that was what it was. It's just like, at the moment, I'm a shit advocate for it because I'm not beating fuck all.
But you're inspiring others too.
No, but it's like, don't get me wrong, I also had a little stupid fucking chicken scratch on my thumb, but, and it stopped me from training. But yeah, it is a mental thing. And I remember Di writing to me, he said, do you know what? But he said, my clients have started using it, he said, because it's in their head and they go in, I've beat the morning, I've won the day.
Yeah, the day's done now.
I can go to work now. If I don't do anything in the night, I've already done it in the morning.
Yeah.
I think that's a massive thing for people. Like I was always one who would go to the gym in the evening, get stuck in traffic, fucking missus ringing you, or wherever, you got to go home to the baby.
Eaters blasting,
thinking, fuck, I gym tonight.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can do it after 2-3 days. But I think if you get in the morning, fucking do it, it's done, box it off. And that for your own mental health is just, you can't describe it. Like, you've done it, boxed it off, happy days.
That a life changer.
It really, obviously, they're never alone. If Spiral as well, and I think you've seen you post the other day, how many hats that you've sold now? And
650
and when you think about that, and this is not a downplay, but when you're going on your walks, there's not 650 people turning up on a walk.
No.
So there's obviously people, buying these hats and supporting the group who have probably never even been to a session, but probably see online what's being done afoot. You know what? That's a fucking good cause. And there's key rings now. I've seen you doing, is it Chep Store or Brett?
Yeah, Chep Store, yeah. So, like I say, last night, right, I was, the boys down Chep Store want some stickers. So I went to the meeting last night, started cutting out these stickers, package them up now. I went over to Glencoid shop, right, and I was like, right, to send them off. As I popped them over the top, and I could just see some random guy with a You're Never Alone bobble hat on, right? And for me, right, I just looked like, I started giggling. And I've been out, I was over Brimback Park. And 5 or 6 people walked past me with this hat on. And they look at me, I go, all right, but and it's like, I think it's just a mad thing.
Yeah. I was in Asda the other night with my missus, right? And I was like, fuck, it's literally spot the You're Never Alone hat. It was I must have seen 7 people walking around Asda with that hat on.
Yeah, he's I think, only over the last, last 2-3 months, I've actually, really felt fucking proud of it. Because you see him, obviously when boys come to the group, they're in it, do you know what I mean? So when you see him people, like you just said, who may not even ever come to one of the group meetings, one of the walks or whatever, but just showing support for it and wearing it with pride. And got people asking, are you going to do any women's clothing? Because women want to wear it. And it says men's mental health group on it, but it shows that they want to say support their brothers, their fathers, their partners or whatever. And I think it's a massive thing. But with the Chep Store one, as you know, Tom Kapinski and everyone who's training at the gym, they lost one of their best friends down there. So they set up a group meeting. They reached out and said, could we do something similar to you? So I went down, they'd done the group meeting, and I think Chepstow was a mad place because I think you just drive past it. It's right on the verge of Bristol, and it's not Newport, and it's not a major place, but the stats down there is mind blowing. One boy lost 7 or 8 best friends in a year.
Fucking crazy.
It's just crazy. So I thought, they need to do something down here. So they set this meeting up. So they reached out then the other day, can we set up You're Never Alone Chepstow? So their meetings have been going good. I thought, yeah, happy days. So we're doing that one. They're going to run it down there. And obviously, I'm admin on the page, I'll post the stuff, they post stuff. And then yesterday, and been on a card for ages now, is Brecon. So I got a ring up now today about somewhere in Brecon. So like 3 different places, and I think each one holds like a value for itself, because like Brecon, you've got the veterans, you've got army barracks nearby, people who always suffer, and also like farmers.
Yeah.
You know, historically they suffer. And like Chepstow down there, I think is like, you know, don't want to like, you know, take a piss out of them, but like a bit of a forgotten land almost. Like, you know, you drive past it when you go over the old bridge, you forget it's even there. You know, I think that's what happened there, like, and then they're all shutting themselves off. And so I think like them 3 places, like Bramau, Ebervale, you know, deep in the valleys, I think each place needs his own thing. Like,
it's just getting bigger and bigger. I know, like, you're a big advocate for not that women don't suffer, obviously, but I think, you know, you are essentially a men's mental health group, and I think that's, you correct me if I'm wrong, probably down to, like you said, it's not easy for anyone, but for a woman to be vulnerable, you kind of not expect it, but it's more welcomed, I think. It's like, you know, women are a little bit more emotional. I hope they don't come for me on this, but women are a little bit more...
For you, mate.
But women are not afraid to be emotional. They're not afraid to open up. Whereas, like you said, men, there is this stigma, and, you know, men are men at the end of the day. It's in our DNA to, you know, be the leader. You got to be mentally tough, can't show no sign of weakness, and that dates back to fucking cavemen fighting fucking dinosaurs, you know what I mean?
Like,
so,
like I said, with women, you know women, they love to fucking talk, don't they? You know,
they're coming for you as well now.
Okay, no dinner for me tonight. No, but I think like they do, don't they? You know, they meet up. You know, girls meet up. They have a chat. You know, they're more likely slag us all off. You know, and I think, you know, I'm not saying a man should do that, but I think that's a big thing. Like, you know, you look at it, women, like, they have this little friendship circle, you know, they all have a little bitch, and they all like tell each other their problems. Like, I'm not saying for a man you need to be like a woman, but it's a fine line between having like being masculine and just having a little bit of empathy for others, and also just letting a bit off yourself. Like
being a bit vulnerable.
Being a bit vulnerable for yourself. I obviously mentioned before we started, but like Sean Strickland, you know, look at the fucking stuff he just say, you know, about women. But then when he was on that podcast, you know, when he went back to his life and he broke down a bit, I think somebody like that then would like, you know, if fucking 100 people seen that and going, you know, if he can do it, you know, at the time he was fucking champion of the world. Yeah. You know, look at the shit he just say about loads of different things, you know, guns and all that. He's one of the most manliest fucking men ever. You know, he more like he drinks fucking Stella, doesn't he? But but it's like, if he can be like that, then, you know, I can be too. And I think that's a big thing, is that I think, like, it is, obviously, like, in our generation, like the miners and that, you know, in our generation, you know, you can't cry, don't cry, you know, you're told as a kid, don't cry or whatever. But
men don't cry.
Yeah, but it's a natural fucking emotion. And, like, the more you, like, try and shut that off, you know, when you grow up, you're like, fucking, I can't fucking cry. Like, you know, I'm at fucking breaking point here. Like,
yeah.
Like I say, I think it's a fine line between that, you know, being, you know, masculine, you know, stoic and whatever, but also having that little side of you where...
Yeah, I think you've got to let them go, because I feel like, I've heard this analogy before, you carry around with like a backpack, and everything that happens in your life, like, I don't know, whether it be trauma or just day-to-day things that you're not happy with your life, you just end up putting them in your backpack and carrying them around, and eventually it's too heavy and it's going to take you down,
I think the heavier that backpack gets, that's when things like, you know, self-harm, suicide, drug abuse, drink abuse, that's when all that starts coming to play, because your everyday world becomes so unbearable that you drink to take away the pain, forget about it, but then you wake up the next day, what happens? We're back to fucking the start.
It's heavier again.
If you start, you know, drug abuse. Yeah. And then a lot of people, that's how they get to the point of committing suicide, because like they can't take it anymore. And the stigma is getting better, and I think he gets a lot of stick, but I think Tyson Fury's been a big... a big deal in that, especially for men, because like you said, you know, you've got this fucking 20 stone, 6'10" giant, unbeaten champion of the world, literally gone off the and I've come out and said, look, I won the fucking, I achieved my ultimate goal, and on the Monday I was like, well, you know, what do I do now? And run himself into the ground, tried to kill himself, and then I think the fact that he was so open about it, but not just that, then showed, like, look what he done afterwards. I think what he done afterwards was even bigger a deal than what he done in the 30. It was great for him to win the world title, but then to spend 18 months ballooning up to 30 stone, to then in the space of a year losing the weight, and then going on, and I know he's a draw, beating Deontay Wilder, the most feared guy on the planet, and beating him comfortably. You know, it's been massive, and I think you know, like you look at the traveller culture. Imagine how big that, because the travellers are like exactly the same as us, but worse, kind of like, you know, all fighting men. The men are hard, the men are the workers. But then you look and you think, well, he's the fucking, calls himself the Gypsy King. He's the king of the gypsies. And if he can be like that, if he's like it, you know, it has been better. I know he cares a lot of shit, Tyson, but I think he's been massive in sort of making it more out there, more. When you hear a lot more people talk about it now, I remember being 21, you weren't even. No. I didn't know what mental health was really. You would never hear of a man fucking coming out and saying it. But yeah, it's been fucking massive. And what's the aspirations for you for the future? Is it just to keep growing and expanding? Is it obviously work as well now? Is it like, is this going to be some, not that you're in it to make the money, but is this eventually going to have to be a case of, I'm not busy with this, I'm going to have to do this as a full-time job?
It's a very fucking sticky one, really. Obviously, like my brother said to me, like I went and done a talk like the other week and whatever, and obviously it was like, you know, money for the group and whatever, and it was just like a bit of a thing where, like, obviously I got quite a good career, like with my brother, and like I can still climb the ladder a bit more. So like for me, and I enjoy what I do, but I also enjoy the group, and it gives me a sense of fulfillment. I don't think my job does. So it's a very difficult one, but I think I'd like to carry on working or whatever, and just delegate and get, like, you know, as many people on board to help as possible. But I think the way I've grown over the last 16 months, if it went like this for the next 16 months, then like it is becoming like unmanageable now. Like my phone doesn't stop. Like and Tom messaged me yesterday. There's 3 of them down there doing that, and like they've been going for like 2 weeks. He said, "Fuck me, this is a full-time job." He said, "It's a good job. We've got 3 of us. Like I'm trying to do it on my own. Boys do bits and that for me, but yeah, he's like the biggest. Like I said, it just snowballed. Like I didn't have no set plan, and I just trying to adapt as it goes. But I think like the big goal is obviously get them stats down, even if it's in Wales, and then who knows where it can go. But I just think that like is such a need for it. If we can go, I don't know.
Well, there's obviously, like you said, there's obviously a need for it, for how massive it's gone. And like, should mention as well, obviously, the hoodies, the hats, the key rings, all the fundraisers, you just plough all that straight back into the group. And that's probably why it'd have snowballed like it have, because I mean, I've never been to none of the walks or nothing like that, but it's constantly in your face on Facebook in a good way. We're like, I'll open up my Facebook on a Sunday morning and you see 30 of them in a fucking pond or walking up Penny Vano, and then there's constantly like hats being sold and the hoodies, and it's just great to see. But obviously, like, take us back a little bit to your childhood and stuff like that. Obviously, I've known you for years. I know you've been a little fucker for years, like, but I've been a fucking nightmare. But obviously, you wasn't always on this path, was you? No, like, you know, even not this have straightened you out, but obviously you've had a good job with Shane and stuff for a long time now. But for years, you was always kind of on a bit of a ropey path. Even when we was youngsters, like 16, 18, he was a bit of a fucking nightmare.
I was,
So, and obviously, like, I know you won't mind me saying you've obviously done prison time and stuff like that as well. Like, do you think that have kind of played into this today? Or do you think that have maybe played into why you were struggling mentally? And then...
Absolutely.
Not that you've done the group for yourself, like, you've done it because so many people around you are struggling, but sometimes we're a product of our environment, aren't we? And the fact that you probably see people you know and who you grew up with taking their own lives, like, well, that could have easily been me.
Yeah, so like growing up, my mum wanted to kill me for this, but growing up, you know, I don't know, I was like, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 or whatever, you know, seeing like domestic abuse or whatever. Remember, I was only on about it yesterday. You know, I was 10 years of age, went home and witnessed my dad just tried to end his own life, like, you know, and something like that stays you forever. Being 10 years of age and like being in that kind of environment, I like, you know, and then my mum and dad went through a horrific breakup, you know, a very violent one. I had to witness it all. Obviously not just me, obviously my brother as well. And it obviously affected me massively, you know, mentally, like as a child. And like, I remember going to school and that, and I was playing up, but I think it was no like, they used to say, oh, look at him, like, he's so naughty, he's so this, so that. But I think I had so much shit going on in my head. And obviously, like, no one knows how to deal with it at fucking 11, 12 years of age. No. Like, I remember going to school and, like, I started, like I don't know, I was short-tempered because I was tired because I was being up all night and worrying, stressed. My ear was fucking falling out, like a fucking like 12 years of age, like as in like you're 7 or 8. My ear was falling out.
Never fucking grown back.
Never fucking grown back. Like, do you know what I mean? But
He's being serious, but
I used to have fucking friends. But no, like I said, I remember going to school and like, you know, somebody would say something and all of a sudden you start fighting. And I was just like, and then they'd be like, oh, look at him, he's this, he's that. Yeah, I said like all that plays in a part, and I remember I had to be like referred to a psychiatrist, and like I said, I've had dealt with a lot of shit, and I think like then growing up then, like where I lived and wherever, it was rough, and you could easily fall into the trap of drugs or whatever, and I did, obviously. But I think, without sounding like fucking cheesy or whatever, but I think like for all like my adult life then, I was like searching to belong to something. So like I would go like obviously with the older boys, you know, and then I it's like, you know, you start taking drugs or whatever, going out drinking, you know, having a bit of a scuffle, you know, and they all think you're great, like, and then, you know, like as something that would never really belonged to anything, and like I was never really, for like over the last couple of years, like with my dad, like, weren't really shown like kind of love. And then when you look at like older boys who you kind of looked up to, showing you like, God, but you know, you're fucking mad, you are, you know, and I played straight into the hands of that, like, you know, and I was thinking, fuck, this is a sense of belonging kind of thing.
I was just going to say, yeah.
And it's like being a part of something and just having that little thing. So I was like doing that. And I was, and then going forward then I was like, it kind of spiraled. I was going out partying all the time. You know, I knew it was no fucking good. And then I got to a point then, I think it was, must have been like 2012, I think it was. And I remember going home on Christmas. I've been partying for days. I was in my bedroom, fucking crying my eyes out. You know, and I thought to myself, this ain't you, but you know, you've lost. Like you. And when you just have that realization, you're just a lost cause. And you look at it and you think, I haven't really got that many friends around me. I just got people who just like me because I'm in a party and I'm being a dick. You know, and I'm playing up and I'm having a laugh or whatever. And I kind of started like sorting myself out or whatever. And then like 2013 then got a relationship and that kind of settled me down a bit. And that carried on through, and then 2015 then, I said, although I wasn't really close to my dad, he was still the guy who created me and, you know, made me who I am today kind of thing, where it was good or the bad, like, you know, so like whatever he put me through when I was younger kind of made me this person I am today, and like, you know, I have to kind of thank him for that. But I lost my dad in 2015. Fucking hell, hit me for 6, like I was working away. And it was the fact that he passed away, but it was like leading up to it. I remember having a phone call off my sister, you know, Dad, I've had a fall. Do you want to come up? Like, and my reaction was, and they literally said to her, no, fuck off, like. Because it was just, you know, we had how much shit on my mind. Fuck off, like. So,
and just had that sort of,
yeah.
their memories, I suppose.
Yeah, and you just think to yourself, I was thinking, you know, and I remember Mum saying, Jordan, you need to go up there. You never know what's going to happen. And when you're young, you don't really think about, like, what's going to happen. You don't really think of them things. So it was like the December then, I had a phone call off my sister, you know, he passed away. I think it was the regret of not going up there. And my mum, I remember my mum saying, I fucking told this would happen. I said that was like 2015. And then after that, then I kind of went numb for a little bit. Like I said earlier, I threw myself into working away. I was working weekends. I just shut myself off until I didn't realise. And then I knew I was struggling. I was thinking, fuck, I can't do anything about it. You know, I'm too proud or whatever. So I remember, well, I went out in the fucking May 2016. I had one weekend off, went down Cardiff for fucking Shane's birthday, caused a fucking mini riot in Walkabout, right? Oh, fucking hell. So it was a couple of shots or whatever. I said, come back. I said, I can get some money a minute. Reckon I wasn't going to pay. Funny enough, he was a fucking bouncer. So, yeah, so that kind of kicked off or whatever. Jumped in the back of the van. All of a sudden now, so I haven't got no handcuffs on. Shane comes out. Shane comes through the fucking van. Jumps up over the steps. Fucking bang. Breaks my nose, right?
So, anyone who don't know, Shane's his brother.
That's my brother. And, yeah, so like I said, I thought to myself, fucking hell, like, what's going on? Yeah, like, so we started scrapping the back of the van, got arrested. And I literally, I woke up in the morning and I was in a fucking suicide vest. Because I had fucking said I was going to kill myself and whatever. I was like, fucking hell, George, like, this is messy now, like. So that was like the May. Done it again, went back working away, shut myself off again. And then I went out then to celebrate and fucking not working away on a Sunday. I remember all the boys saying, oh, this is bad news, George, you know, you going out on a Sunday, you go work in the morning. I was like, nah, I'd be fine, but, you know, I'm a changed man now. You know, you're always like, when you haven't drunk, you think, I've changed now.
Yeah.
And I went out. I said, one thing went to another, fucking ripped the radiator off a wall, fucking head went, choked some guy out in the fucking, by the bar. This was leading up to the thing, and then the bouncer come in, obviously we had a bit of a scuffle, kicked him, whatever, snapped his leg, and whatever. And I remember just walking down the steps by the Buffs, and PC Sanders, right, if you're watching PC Sanders, you know the drill. But I was walking home, I thought, I got away with this, like, what's that, gripped me like, he's like, you can come with me, and I remember saying, I can't, but I go fucking pick the boys up in the morning. But anyway, so that happened then, and again, went down there, I kicked off again, and like I said, the main thing was me, it was like, if I had a drink, but I was getting angry without a drink. Like, I remember going through all this shit, and like, I was driving down the road, and like, someone would set me off, and I literally, I was just thinking, fuck, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I was thinking, fuck it, I'm just going to fuck off, like. And I said, I woke up in the morning, I had tried to kill myself in my fucking own boxers, right? Pollock naked in the fucking cell, tried to choke myself out with the boxers. My head was just completely blown, like, like you just think.
Do you remember that then? Do you remember it? Like,
I remember it. I remember because he was laughing at me, the fucking PC Sands. I thought, fuck this, I'm done. Like, I just don't want to be here. Like, fucking pull my boxers off, tie them around my neck, fucking like And they must have fucking heard me, fucking choking or whatever. They come in and fucking strip me thing, put me in a suicide vest again. And I was in a glass cell then because I was on suicide watch. And I had on the door, I had an M, right? I woke up in the morning, I thought, M? Fuck, I would murder someone, have I? And you think to yourself, fuck, I remember going home then, and that was it then. I thought, you need some serious help, but to deal with all this. And like I said, for years, but I was running away from my problems, and like I remember one of the boys saying, run away from the problems, a race you're never going to win. I think I'd done that for a lot of time. And if I went and got the help sooner, I wouldn't have been in that position. Yeah. So I think, like I said, then I done that, then done the counselling. I ended up getting sent to prison, and when I was in there, obviously I was writing into my ex-partner at the time. I was like, look, when I get out, I'm done now. Like, I'm going to get on the straight and narrow, like. Because I'd always have like bits where I would like go out and I wouldn't come home for the night and whatever, and I was just like my way of dealing with what I had going on. Like I said, it was just a bit of a shit one, really. I had the counselling from like October, November, December, January, February. Got sent to prison then on end of March. It's fucking mad. My head must still be fucked, 'cause I thought it was a fucking April Fool's joke. So I got in there, it's March the 31st. I thought, they said, they taking the piss out of me. They want to teach me a lesson, like fucking 25-year-old man, like. But as I said, I went in there, but it was a fucking real horrible experience. And then when I was in there, I remember my first night I was in there with he was a heroin user or whatever. I couldn't believe they put me with him. Like, I felt like I was not like better than anyone else, but I kind of knew I had my head switched on. Like, even all through my struggles, I had a good job, always done well for myself, always looked after myself a good bit. When I got in there, I was in with him. I was like, fucking hell, this is you're the lowest of the low now, but you're just the same as him in here, like. And I had to deal with him, like saying he wanted his methadone or whatever, and I deal with like, a lot of things in there. But then a woman come around then, and I started talking to her, and I opened up to her straight away, like, and she said, to be honest with you, love, what you're going through, she said, you sounds like you've got like PTSD from what you've like suffered in your childhood. And it like clicked to me, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe it is, like. So I gave you a job, and he was helping other prisoners, like getting bank accounts, and like checking prisoners in, checking them out. The most trusted job in the prison, because you can go through all their files, like you can see what they done on that, like. And when I was in there, like I said, I thought, I started reading books or whatever. I thought, this is out to get yourself better. Like, I kind of led onto this then, because I had like a qualification. It was more likely worthless, but advice and guidance. So I come out then. I was going back training, whatever, working. And then when this came about then, I thought, you know what? Everything that you've done and everything that have happened in your life, although I got no qualifications, I've been through fucking more in 30 years, well, 29 at the time, than most people who got qualifications. Like, qualifications are good, don't get me wrong, but if you haven't got that experience of going through... Life experience is, is priceless. And I think once you've, like, been there, done that, dealt with it, don't get me wrong, I dealt with it the wrong way at the start and going through, but then got the help and whatever else, and I think that's what put me into this group then, and I think that's why, the boy said to me, like, why people are drawn to you is because you've got a story, and you're pretty open about it, and you don't really care about, you know, telling people, like, and that then leads other men then going, you know what, but, you know, I went through something similar. You know, there's a guy on the group, obviously I won't name him for obviously reasons, but he told me something that only 2 people in his family know, you know, and I think myself, like, that's a massive thing of trusting someone, like, and that's somebody I've only known for like 8-9 months. It's
brilliant, but it's a really inspiring story. Like you said, it's funny how it all, like, for most people, it all stems from like that childhood trauma. But as you said, if you hadn't gone through that, you probably wouldn't be doing what you're doing now.
No.
So, although at the time, you know, it's fucking terrible to go through it, but obviously, it's like the butterfly effect. If that hadn't happened, what would you be doing today?
I wouldn't be sat up with you boys, would I?
No, exactly.
You know, how lucky am I? But,
no, but it's really inspiring. But just to wrap it up, is it like what's coming up for the group? Obviously, you touched on you got the Chepstow branch and the Brecon branch opening, but what's coming up? Any fundraisers? Anything you want to put out there that people can get to?
To be honest with you, like, in terms of fundraising, it's like we don't really do much ourselves. What we're trying to do is trying to help others, like, so obviously you've got Mark Will, obviously they're doing like the Tenny Van in April, so that's something as a group we're getting behind. A load of the boys now are doing, it's to do with a guy from Tatami, Gareth,
Gareth, yeah.
Tatami, he does a thing for Roll Fit,
they're
helping, is it T-Coat, like disabled school, and they try to raise money for that. So we try to like do challenges in order to raise money for other causes. You know, it's just great to support other people, like you said, like supporting Mark or whatever. So fundraise for ourselves. Like I did have a fucking idea of doing something, but everyone told me I was stupid. Like, but we'll try and do something in the summer. Gonna have a look at somewhere to open up in like Carmarthen, because again that's another like quite a rural place, and just carry on going, growing, and just helping others really.
Yeah. Do you think that benefit of them feeling like they're helping? Well, they are helping people. Is probably giving them like pride and self-worth as well. So in the goal of helping other people, you're helping yourself as well at the same time.
That's it. And like, I think that was a thing for me. So like, I sort of set this group up when I was in like mentally, and like my life was going the best it's ever been. And then at the beginning of last year, I went through something. I won't go too much into it because there's obviously somebody else involved. But yeah, I was at my lowest point. Then I lost my best friend Ashley, and I thought, fuck. And then I literally can remember when it happened. Although I set this group up wherever, it got the better of me. I go, fuck, I gotta go, like. And I literally was at that point. I remember the boys from the group were fucking ringing me, and they if it wasn't for the group, I don't think I would be here, like, because
but it's funny because you set the group up to help others,
and in the end, they've helped myself.
But they've come full circle.
They've come full circle, and then obviously I lost Ashley then, and before Ashley passed away, his one thing was to get him to the top penny van, and like he said, so I got another year or two left. I was like, right, you know where it's like putting it off a little bit, and then he took himself off the transplant list. Then I had a bit of a go at him. He's like, no, Joe, I'm done. I'm at the end, like whatever. So I remember ringing me up, and he said, Joe, I got 4 weeks left. I was like, I did hear that right, surely, like not 4 weeks. So in the end, then he rang me up. He's like, yeah, Joe, it's 4 weeks. I was like, right, next week we're doing fucking penny van. So I gone to there and like just to get to tick that off for him, and then like we said, the butterfly effect. Like if it wasn't for everything, I wouldn't have gone to the top penny van because this group wouldn't fucking it wouldn't be here. So I think to give somebody that thing to tick off, and like no seeing the emotion when he got to that top, because if anyone didn't know, like he had something wrong with his legs, he had much muscle, he had really bad kidneys, kidney failure, he had a lot of stuff going on, and he physically couldn't get to the top. So I had a mountain wheelchair, and we fucking dragged him to the top basically. And it was that much emotion that day that we got to the top in 45 minutes in a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah,
and
I mean, some people don't even walk to the top in 45 minutes.
Well, I done it last week, and I done it in 50 minutes, and you know I got my fucking 2 legs, like you know, we had him in a wheelchair, and we dragged him to the top. So like I said, it's a butterfly effect of that, like, and I think it's a massive thing for, you know, as a group as well. Like they said, one of the most emotional days I've ever had in my life, like, and they hardly knew him. So I think like helping others, and then it's kind of helping yourself, and I think that's why you've come full circle onto me. Like I said to the boys, if it wasn't for you boys, you know, it'd be a totally different story.
I think it's brilliant because it's human instinct as well. I think I always find, and some people maybe do, but I always find it doesn't matter what, I've achieved some good things, and whatever I achieve, it's great, you're on top of the world. Yeah. But I always get a lot more satisfaction out of helping someone else do something. Or you know, helping someone work towards something. And like you said, the fact that you've done what you've done that day, and the fact that you're doing what you're doing is not self-fulfillment. It's the fact you're seeing someone else achieve it. And it's like, that's always 100 times better, I think.
So it's like same as like the messages you have. Like I had a message a couple of months back off one of the boys who come. We had a good chat, and he was like, you know, he was heavy drinking, taking drugs, or whatever. I can remember messaging me, 3 months clean. I know just that message, think, fucking job done.
Brilliant.
It's job done, innit? Like, you know, that's why this group is here, like, you know, and yeah, like I said, it's that thing of seeing what you've helped others. Yeah. And thinking it's not even helping yourself, like I said, it's that thing of that self thing of doing it for yourself, like, and doing it for them.
Oh, well done, mate. It's awesome.
It's
inspiring to see.
Yeah, and it's only been 16 months. Like you said, imagine where you're going to be in another 16 months. I want to thank you for coming on. Where can people buy the hats, the hoodies, donate, the support? Obviously, they can get you on social media. We'll put the links. But what's the best way to go about supporting you if they want to?
Well, the hats, they fly out the stock straight away. Mel Morgan Sports in Abervale, they've been a massive support, like, and they stock them up there, which have helped me massively, because obviously running around delivering hats is an absolute nightmare. So Mel Morgan Sports, will they be having a restock now in like 2 days? Contact me directly, obviously on the On Ever Alone page for hoodies, t-shirts, key rings. There's a couple of boys who've got like pots of key rings now that you can message. Like I said, if you jump on the social medias, then we can get back to you then.
And is the group itself online, is it like a group, or is it just a page you can like, and so you can keep up to date if you want to attend the walks and all that? Just obviously follow the Facebook page.
Follow the Facebook page. My walks updated now. I'm trying to do it a bit earlier so everyone got a bit more of an idea what's going on. Tuesday usually for the walks. The cold dips are also on a Wednesday and a Saturday in different places. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram. I've jumped on LinkedIn. I don't know if anyone's going to be on there, but like I said, another way of getting it out there to other people. Yes, jump on social media, give it a like, a follow, and a share. It'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, we'll get all the links, guys, in the description. So don't forget, support them any way you can. If you can afford to buy some merch, buy it. If not, just support them by following them online. You never know. One day it may come a good use. Yeah. May think, I'm going to jump in on a walk, I'm going to jump in on a cold dip. And yeah, thanks for coming on. Jordan, I enjoyed it. It's really good story. And also, like, I think it'd be good for people watching to see that, you know, don't matter how sort of bad it gets, there's always kind of light at the end of the tunnel. 100%. And there's always people willing to help you out as well. Yeah. You know, there's like a stigma around mental health where it's like, it's kind of like the end of the world. But I think you'd be surprised how many people will actually help out someone, like you said, that they don't even necessarily know. Do you know what I mean? So thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. And
cheers, boys. Yeah, cheers,
don't forget, guys, like, share, subscribe, like the pages, and we'll catch you all soon.